Well, that's the only way I can get an angle I've already set over there just on purpose, so.
I know they do.
What about all those calendars? Where are they at? They're in the back room, aren't they? Yeah. I guess they did.
Question, do we need to do this over here?
You don't have to.
And when do I hand this to you?
Okay, got my.
Which
Well,
one?
I forgot, I know I,
Yes, I don't want to.
Chester.
Wait!
Don't fall.
Now see, I'm the one who got
always
back
falling.
there.
Have a seat.
We covered up the other two holes.
I always fall.
I do too, but I don't need no help. I'm klutzy enough.
You don't know how bad. I fallen like 5 or 6 times this year. Really bad fall. I broke my ankle, I broke my face.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay, you're maybe ahead of me.
I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah, this year I've only had a tree fall on me. And let's see. Oh, the dogs broke 3 toes when they flipped me onto my rock garden and I smashed my face open.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought I lost my nose for a minute. Yeah, but it was all right.
No.
It worked.
No.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, you look like I did, except I didn't have that top. Oh, honey, you gotta stop that now.
I broke my ankle,
Ooh.
and then I fell again.
And twisted the other one.
And twisted the other one.
Here's
All my ribs from here to here, I had bruised. The last time I fell from here to here. I was helping Anthony put some plywood up, and I was holding it, and I fell on.
Oh,
He goes, please don't help me.
I'm sorry. Well, we're sorry you don't want to stop. Oh, you're going to park in the shade. Good boy. On the grass. Oh, that's her. You know, what's the use of having grass? What are you doing? Here now, be nice. Look at it, here they come. Good morning.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you, junking up my little tiny house.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, when everybody leaves, I want all this stuff gone.
All right. See, I got a problem because my husband's got a little girly down
I'm
there.
trying.
You know, I want to see. I'm like, whatever. Finally told him, I said, quit putting them calendars in my truck. I drive that truck. Put them in your car. Put them in your container. But I got my own little cat here.
So yeah, girls, stop.
Well, you're important. Go, Michael, go. Go, Michael, go. Oh, it's Steve.
Steve lost weight.
Working out.
You're looking good.
Oh, your yard looks so beautiful.
Yes.
Your what?
Oh.
Oh.
You got a pond now? Oh my God, I haven't seen it.
Building a water pond in my front yard.
Oh.
We got the waterfall
I want
down.
to
Are we gonna
see.
play the fishies in the summer? Are those the double envelopes?
Ooh.
Hey, isn't that your son? Double's not gonna
Yes.
He's back?
I came in.
That's
Four
great.
later out here.
Congratulations. That's good. Take it all. He wants it all gone. Take as much as you want. Boys usually are.
No,
That's because he's got a good day.
no, it's the way he carries himself. No,
He's a man.
it's the way he
Already.
carries himself. Do you like it when I put it? Do you like it?
Look at her go. Good stuffer. Good stuffer. Now pick it up. Shake it. No.
If we put a bed in, we don't put
Blue box.
We don't do the process if we don't.
No, if you're already casting a boat,
Yeah.
that didn't make sense to me either.
You caught me on guard there. My first meeting ever. Where is he running off to? Hey, Zach?
So tell me, what's going on here? You're in high school, right? You're in 11th grade?
You need ink pens and keychains? You need ink pens and keychains? And a little book to keep track of all your activities?
Seriously?
And I had
Florida State?
that seems way
That's
over
in,
here.
We were working with the department back.
So, I'm thinking about changing engineers.
That's what school I go to reading. Now she's going to start math. But, that's a reading. It's a part of it. It's one thing. It's a part of it. But you're a good kid. And then, grade school. What do you want to study? What do you want to study?
Before service out here, it was offered a job, but you can start at 18 and just be, an intern. Or if he goes to college for forest service or social science,
As best as he
something
can.
like that, you can get a higher, it's a government job.
That's all we can ask for,
You may
right?
not be at the office here, maybe driving around as a game warden or something else, but they want you to have a degree. If you have to deal with people because you're a game warden up there, social sciences works, forestry, like I said, landscape management.
It's a stuffer. You gotta.
This is like thing that needs to be a little bigger here.
Just a lift.
No, they were only expecting anything
His
from
cousin
us.
works for air gas.
I need the empties.
And he makes $150,000 a year. Go back with 18 You can come live with me until you get your job. So he's already got a job to hire. Dad worked in the unions in Dallas. Did a crane operator to 6 weeks ago. So he's got a bunch of options. It's getting you to understand. It's getting you to understand you have options.
Absolutely.
Otherwise,
You are
you just
not
end up
gonna
doing
keep it away.
whatever.
Exactly.
And 20 years goes by.
And you say, what the hell, Martin? I think it's a great idea.
I haven't seen Red Moss.
I don't know, and I kind of pulled.
Ha ha! That's gonna be a hard thing to do. He ain't gonna stay home. There's good food in that little bag.
What happened to all the grass out there on the other side? We have no rain this year? We have no rain this year? What happened to all the grass out here?
Very little rain.
No, very little rain.
A lot of wind and it just dries it up. Hi, Handsome. You're back again, huh?
He's just a cute little dog.
Any Handsome? Mr.
How are you
Biggs?
two?
How are you? And he has a
Oh, I'm doing all
Oh
right.
boy, he don't like other dogs. Here
Just
goes
another
your
day in
daddy.
paradise.
Here comes your daddy. You're in trouble.
Just another day in
Biggs,
paradise.
you better go home.
Oh, I know that, they overdid.
You bet. Biggs, there goes your daddy.
And I get it, but.
Oh, you better go home. You better go home. Here comes Daddy.
I appreciate it. You have a.
Don't you need a puppy now, Steve?
No.
Damn.
You don't have a puppy?
I got 2 more to get rid of.
I love my cat. Oh my god, I've never had a cat in my life
Me
until now.
neither.
Oh, I
And
love
oh
cats.
my god, I
They got
love
character,
it.
don't you do?
And
I like
I
those
spoke to
Chinese
them, they
rag
told me to
dolls.
speak to you. Especially when we empty the ballot box in a big room for other people to put their ballots in.
But where would we empty it out?
Michael, where would we empty the ballot box? There's no
Maybe
room.
just squeeze them back in.
Just squeeze it in there. The election people will do that.
Well, your secretary said have her.
Maybe put the box in the bag. I don't know. I don't do this, so.
If they have them, I'm gonna run with them all. Well, maybe a little bag.
We need bigger boxes. We got
No,
bought
I'll hold
those
on to the ballot.
I'm here.
and we needed bigger
Maybe I shouldn't
ballot
do that,
boxes.
but
It means good. Everybody took an interest.
And I think the guy on the
Yeah, there's papers here,
Oh,
and then there's signing sheets over there. These are the minutes and the financial statements, and then those are the signing.
No, this one.
and you only put water. I was freaking out.
That's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money too. On the end,
then come sit on them.
what they did is they went and just
Nobody's gonna
scanned
get
it.
them.
This covers everything and they printed it off. and
It's shady. They can take my head off somebody.
Good.
Bald head.
On and on.
Oh, I'm loving this day. I really am.
Oh yeah, it's sorry. I'm sorry. Unless you want to take minutes.
Oh, I made it.
No, it's just, I always end up.
So Jack's not gonna be here.
Oh, okay.
There's bottles of water in the whole cooler, and there's pop and waters inside. And then
It's
over
good stuff
here.
today.
How are you doing, Joyce?
Hi. I'm
Yeah,
Isabel.
did you turn them in?
Hi. No, let's do it.
There we go.
And I know it's hard to get used to.
And then there's minutes and financial statements here.
Do you understand?
There's bottles of water in
I
the
went to so many
cooler.
times, 6 years ago. 4 years ago. Oh, school life is always go like
They're on
that.
the way again.
Yeah,
And I was just thinking, Lori made a good.
He made a good judgment. Yep,
Made a
yep,
really
yep,
good
yep.
judgment.
Yeah, because of sweat glands.
Yeah.
Amazing. Take as many as you want. He wants them gone.
These are cool, man. I like the leather.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, like I told you about? Not me.
no, I'm using.
It's all Swift County.
Yeah.
It's all Swift County. The ballots go in the blue ballot.
Get through there, young lady. All right.
All of it.
So I get pretty.
That's all Swift County right now.
Thank you for your
Well, thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, that one's empty.
Yes, there's a lot of veterans here in this community.
My husband, he was in the Navy in
Thank you.
Vietnam.
That's a tough piece of duty right there.
Yeah. He's been gone almost 3 years
I
now.
haven't seen Kyle.
Are you guys
He
gonna?
died from the stage of the age of when he was a ship he was on, hauling big barrels of that stuff. And they had a crane and they were offloading it from the ship to the dock. And the net that the barrel was in, there's a rip. And
He got some
it was still open. And he was right under it. He got the whole
Okay.
And it,
And that was extra concentrate.
yeah, and it did a lot of stuff to him. Basically, it caused a lot of things. The design of the COPD was from the Agent Orange. He had diabetes and several other things.
It's about
Nerve
$1,000
disorders
for
and all
that
kinds
baby.
of stuff from all that Agent Orange. When we took him to
I'm so
Wichita,
sorry.
they tested him. They said it was so high they couldn't
That's
even
what
read
Loopy's
it.
doing.
It
You
was
know he
off
never
the
listens to
charts.
me, so.
I have an uncle, he served in Vietnam as
Want
a
more,
Marine
Loopy?
Scout sniper, and it brought on diabetes.
Loopy said, and I always have to listen to what he says.
And anyways,
Because I'm afraid of
he
him.
lost, just this last year, he lost 3 toes, all of his toes on 1 foot except for his big toe.
Yeah, he does.
And he's had some issues with getting infections in his bones, so.
I need,
There was a lot of that in the area there.
Yeah, well, where he was dealing with,
There was a lot of the that got into that. A lot of them affected by it. I was the captain over Army for 5 years, and there were so many of them over there. Because they knew about my husband, they would come and talk to me about it, and confide in me and stuff, and they wouldn't talk to anybody else. And a lot of them were affected.
You have your bowls, please put them in here.
It's just unreal. Good.
yeah. That was some nasty stuff.
Yeah, it
sign
was.
in.
Sure.
Oh, all you have to do is put your ballots in those blue boxes. Anyone, I want you to sign in for you. Yeah. And then if you got the school, then you gotta That was simple as this.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
as long as you
that's
sign
right.
in. And then,
Yeah, you just go through the door and it's on.
put your ballot in the box. All right. You have one, you have 2 lots though.
I didn't know you were interested.
You got 2 lots. I'm gonna put 2 lots there. You're in finding 1, but you're across the street.
So we just got,
You're finding, you have 2 lots, I wrote 2 lots. That's all it is, the amount of lots. Connie?
Change them all the time. Right now, I used to say you use the sprinkler so I could get everything.
oh, all right, you okay?
So I used
Keeping,
had a sprinkler and get
Out of trouble.
I mean, I have to couple of them, but they get old and they're just not doing it. I'm the reason. Really like the soap.
Yes. Thank you.
well, are you, if you're showing up, I'll get out of here.
Hey Marty, you just sit right there and I'll explain to you what you gotta do to run this meeting.
Oh, not a chance.
I'm gonna go home and take a nap.
Well, you can sit here and take a nap too.
Oh.
Put your sunglasses on, nobody knows you're asleep.
Oh, yeah. Still not.
What do you know?
Get this thing unloaded. You know it?
One thing.
Now, this is the way everything was set up, everybody.
Sometimes you only get this.
Look at that guy, hasn't even voted.
I'm not surprised.
He's a crook.
Are you gonna vote for yourself? Well,
No, I won't vote for myself, so I haven't voted. I'll vote for John probably after a while. But I don't vote for myself, so it's still sealed. I've never even voted.
well, you got more than one lot, so you can.
I have one lot.
Vote twice, one for you and one for him.
I have one lot. That's all I got.
Really?
That's enough.
How the hell did you do that?
I can't afford no more.
Oh, listen to that bullshit.
I just put $1,000 in tires in my truck yesterday. Guess where my truck is? Kid stole it.
Yeah,
Kid stole it, or kid stole my truck.
well,
No, my kid stole it.
It's got new tires.
He's got new tires, and he says, I need my truck won't start. Come clear over here, ask Zebra.
they were quick.
Come clear over here at 7:30 this morning and said my truck won't work, and I've already
Oh,
ordered it.
God. Oh, my God, yeah, see how the one's coming up.
That's kids for you, isn't it?
Kids. I have wanted them on fire.
One oxygen.
It rains. All these little guys are popping up, you know.
So,
Poor guy.
anyway.
Poor guy.
Oh my God, it's wonderful.
And my granddaughter's 14.
Oh, okay.
Get out of the Mexico. But then there's my dog. My daughter's 10 years.
I just trying to
I call it, you come over to the end. I'm done. 10 minutes. Come over.
I have some coming in,
I just heard that from a young
Do I
man.
need to go over there?
Like it. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. I'm just moving down.
I even color coded it.
You did. You can't be helped.
I do good. Has everybody got signed in and turned your ballots and proxies in? We need to get this rolling. Sign in over here, please. You're filing two. Morning. How are you? Sign in there, ballot proxies here. Okay. Okay, so did you bring your proxy back? Or did you want to turn your proxy in and you don't have to sign in? Or you can sign it at the same time. Okay, whites go in the white box and blue and full box decided the system out. Blues go in the blue box.
Oh.
And my dog is 25, and she still needs me. My dad never needed my mom.
And drive and back the street over here. What's that? That's the system. Hi, son. Daughter, 14 years old. And she still drives that way. I drive like that when I drive down the
You got volunteers?
Oh, just leave it in there. You know.
Well, I drive around 2 or 3 times a day. I'm phone. That's what I do. That's fine. That's it.
I have my own kid.
Yeah, we like to
Start counting.
Okay.
Okay, we need to start. All right, is everybody signed in? I was worried that you didn't have enough chairs. Somebody come and set up your churches too. Yeah, we had to hire a company to come in and set it up and tear it down. So we don't have to be bothered with it. Over there. Yep.
Yeah, I figured it.
Do we underline them? Okay.
I don't want to. They push my pants down. All right, I hereby call this meeting to order. Let's count the sign-ins. And then let's count the proxies. Because I know we don't have enough sign-ins. What about the other page?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 37.
We do not have enough sign-ins to run the meeting. Put it aside and move on. I need.
Let me just count how many.
I need 13 proxies. That's all I need.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.
You have 13 that are open and that are paid.
Well, I don't know.
If they haven't been paid or they didn't get one.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I just need 13 of them.
Okay.
They have to be paid or they didn't get
Oh,
one.
so it doesn't matter. Just open them and
Open and go.
Yeah, they have to be paid or they didn't get one.
Oh, okay. So they're
So I
already
need
paid.
13
Paid.
proxies.
So they're paid.
4.
But they have to be paid.
No, they already did it. They paid with the proxy.
Nobody got a piece of paper unless they paid.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So we haven't had another thing.
That one won't work. Because it's got my name on it. That one won't work.
Oh, okay.
Got my name on
If
it.
it's got a name, we
Oh,
can't
this
use
one
it.
won't work.
Okay. Well, we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
That one won't work.
So what do you mean? It can't have anybody's name on the top.
On the top, it
Can't say
says
Lionel.
Lionel
Okay, that'll work. Okay, here's to. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Is that?
That's hers.
Do we need to check them off?
No.
Nobody
That
got
won't
any?
work. That won't work. That won't work.
If it has your name or somebody else's
Anybody else's name, it
If
won't
there's a
work.
name on the top of it.
Anybody?
Anybody's name, I don't want those.
Mine, that one.
I want form only.
Okay.
I don't want proxies in my name.
Oh, but this does have proxies.
That one needs to go to John. If you see one for the board members, give them to the board members.
Okay.
Okay.
That's John.
That one, yeah, it's got a name.
The other
I don't want no name.
And then after we.
It might take all of them to find them.
And then after we get them through, then we go through the ones that have names and group them in the groups. And give John his,
Okay,
and Ruby his, and Tina hers. And
And
then Tina Swisher is right there.
And that's, no,
That's
that's
mine. No, someone's signed their proxy to Tina Swisher. Walrus?
Walrus. Got a
You
name
got
on
him,
it.
you gotta
Can't
cut
use
them. Because it's, you know.
Okay, I put here.
I bet that was sweet.
Those twists.
Dang. Not right now.
Now, when you signed in, did you sign in?
Yeah.
You're counted on that.
Oh, I haven't.
It has your name on
But don't take it.
Do you want these so you can compare?
it. No, but still, we still.
Yeah.
Warren.
Oh, yeah, I'll sort them.
Oh my gosh, I am shocked.
Stop that.
Just slap them.
Dang.
Yeah, that's what Tina does. Is this like Christmas morning?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, let me turn it over.
I used to have a grandmother that would tell me to open it very carefully.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
like, cowboy.
Get out of the way. Who's Chelsea? Chelsea. Quorum. I got a bunch of. Oh, so you want a bunch of the, you can use those?
I want quorum, that's what I
Quorum, there we go. Oh, you didn't tell me that. Yeah, quorum. I got a couple, 3 of them.
I want this quorum.
And the ones that count too.
Yeah,
And if you
we'll
got
sort them out. Keep them
those
all.
are those.
We'll sort them.
Right,
Yeah, we'll sort
I
them.
don't want them.
Here, this doesn't have anything.
No, Chelsea. Okay.
Yeah, I stopped this in a little bit. Sit down and get
Yeah.
Michael wants 25.
It wasn't mine.
Michael.
He forgot to sign in.
2 quorums right here.
Okay, I got enough, I got plenty.
Okay, now we sort them according to name.
Now you can sort them according to name.
And there's a quorum.
Sign in for me, all these apart.
Okay.
Now I bet everyone will touch your quorum.
Okay, so
Now we sort.
You got plenty.
Michael,
How are you doing? There's stuff there, there's papers here, there's ice water in here.
oh, there's a quorum. Okay, Chelsea, myself. Oh, okay.
yes, please.
Whoever you are.
Thank you.
Okay, Cal. Let's see, Tina Switzer. These are all Michael's here. Okay, Michael here. Yes, ma'am. John, Michael
Candy?
there. Yes, ma'am.
Joseph,
John,
I gotta attend this, guys.
another Michael. Let's see, I had a Tina. Here's another one.
You guys got one more?
John,
Yeah.
Chelsea. I don't know who myself is.
Oh, yes, she did.
I just need an extra one.
Right here.
Yes, a bunch of them. Michael. Here's one, an empty one.
And then I want all the forms in one file, and that will go to Tina
Okay.
Okay.
to go with, to make the meeting go.
Okay. John. I got 2. John Baldwin. Anybody got a Chelsea? Okay. Here's the Chelsea 8 somebody.
Yeah, what you put in, these are some of my files. Well, I just have,
Oh, no, I got switched it.
Call the meeting to order quite a while ago.
Quorum. Nobody.
Okay, let's try to go. I'm sorry we're late. We're a little bit disorganized out here in the tent. Thank you guys all for coming today. It's been a tough year, and I'm glad to see some people here. Because we rented this tent, and I didn't know if anybody was even going to show up. So I appreciate that.
They're all empty. One here, one apart.
Yes, yes. Double check. Might be in the one vote might make the difference.
I'll try to read the minutes from last year's meeting. If you If anybody didn't get minutes, there are minutes and papers here. 2019 annual homeowners meeting, August 3rd of 2019. The 2019 annual homeowners meeting was called to order at 10:17 a.m. by President Michael Pushkevich. Board members present were Michael Pushkevich, Libby Gonzalez, Jason Box, Martin Swisher, and Jack Walker. Special guests were Jacob With, attorney for KV, Lee Shaw, CPA for KV, and Wayne Clark of the Swartz County Sheriff's Office. Also present were Barry Kinney, Doug and Elizabeth Glenn, Lori Pushkevich, Cassandra Baldwin, Heather Witkins, Robert Humphreys, Stephen Hack, Shane Martin, Robert and Wyoming Richards, Christian Kevin McCullough, Dan Mondell, Chester Havings Sr., Chester Havings Jr., Adam Baker, Joshua Baker, John and Barbara Sutter, George and Tina Groom, David and Tabitha Happel, Joyce Smith, Pat Brown, Rick Newman, Wanda Leva, Dolores Smith, John Bookman, Corey Wood, Rico Poor, Elliot Smith, Ray Folsom, Phyllis Riley, Bob Blackford, Ed and Karen Davis, Chelsea and Joshua Egelmeyer, Patrick and Jeanette Horton, Amy Enright, Doug Johnson, Anna Gonzalez. Oh, Mr. Donnelly's not here. Arlie Donnelly, Chris Kane, and Arthur Hinshaw. These names. Michael read the minutes of the 2018 annual meeting. Jeanette Horton made a motion for the meetings to be accepted, and John Bookman seconded. Minutes were approved by the show of hands. Respects were made to the passing of Gladys Eisenhart, Ira Tubbs, Isabel Woodman, Ron Dempsey, and Mary Lucero, long-time property owners in the KB. Lee discussed the financial report. He showed a chart indicating the rise in revenue since 2000. Most of the increased revenue came from sales of lots. This is the reason there has not been an increase in several years in yearly association dues and water bills. Jacob addressed the mediation meeting regarding the suit filed by the Havens. The Havens were requesting $14,000 plus for grading roads and filing 3. The suit was settled for $2,400 with the stipulation that the Havens were not to perform any maintenance work in the future. The Havens did not have a contract for the work they performed. Michael commented that we need to settle things internally because no one wins except the lawyers. Regarding the roads that the Havens have been grading since the court ordered, Jacob said the board could sue the Havens. The foreclosure on Danny Mondell was discussed. The judgment entered on Danny Mondell was in favor of the plaintiff, and amounts of $6,132.57. Of that, $2,977 was the original judgment, and $2,977 was attorney fees, and $313.07 were costs. Michael stated that the board is going to crack down on anyone that has purchased a lot from the HOA that is not making payments on time. Everyone needs to pay on time or will be foreclosed on. We will also be foreclosing on those that are behind on their assessments. If I have to scrape together to pay mine, then everyone else should pay theirs also. Remember that this is the members' money we are talking about. Also, while I'm on the board, we will not be raising the prices of the assessments or tap fees. We will budget and live within our means. Jacob also said that he'd been told that he has to address his also said that he's been told that he has to address his concerns at the monthly board meeting, but that Michael came to his house to discuss business when he cannot do the same. Jacob replied that Jason can request a meeting as long as at least 3 board members are present. Rob Blackard asked if Tina was going to refund the commissions she received for selling KB-owned lots. Jacob replied no, she had the board's approval, and anyway, she is no longer selling lots. Then Davis spoke up and said we had to pay someone to sell the lots, so he didn't see the problem with Tina receiving the pay. An independent realtor has now been contacted to do the paperwork for selling KB-owned property in the future, but we will have to pay her. Until her retirement, Tina will continue to show the property. Doug Glenn again requested a better explanation of the use of the proxy ballots. Michael replied that election rules and procedures will be drawn up and posted next spring, well in advance of the 2020 annual meeting. Tabitha Apple said the sale of KB lots should be recorded in the buyer's name with KB listed as a lien holder. The way we have been doing it is not filed anything with the courthouse until the property is paid in full, at which time a quitclaim deed is given to the new owner. Michael said we are still having a problem with the dogs running loose. Rico Poor said that at this time last year a 6-year-old was attacked. Joyce Smith said she had a problem with a 40-pound dog at her house. Wayne Clark said that he would be sending out notices to homeowners. He also said that although you can shoot out here in the KB, but be aware that you can be charged. Barry Kinney said, so it is not illegal to shoot a firearm in KB. Wayne replied that there are procedures to be followed. Michael commented that he had seen on Facebook that someone had been firing 8 to 10 shots. If you notice this, you need to contact the sheriff's office because this is not someone shooting at prairie dogs. Chester Having Sr. said that when you are shooting at prairie dogs, you should not shoot towards the highway. Wayne also gave pointers on homeowners protecting themselves and their property. Jason Bach said that at a recent commissioners meeting, a request was denied for an additional greenhouse on the same property. KB only allows 1 greenhouse per lot. We need to contact the county and the state when the water is being turned off. The last time it was turned off for repairs, Tina requested a boil order from the state, and she printed copies. Michael had delivered them to the property owners, and Fred came to perform a water test the next day. A new water tank should be delivered next week. Michael said he would need help to help dismantle one wall to remove one of the old ones and install a new one. Chester Having Sr. remarked that the lake needs to have the weeds cut down to allow for fishing with lures. Michael said to ask for a committee of volunteers to do this. Chris Kane, Chester Havens Jr., Rico Poor, Steve Box, and Tina Groom volunteered. Michael then asked if we wanted to continue the yearly fishing contest and asked for a raise of hands to discontinue. No hands were raised. When he asked if we wanted to continue, nearly everyone raised their hands, so the fishing contest will remain for the annual meeting. Michael said we are going to get together with Fred and maybe Terry Berry, who is KB's representative for the water district. Barry Kinney remarked that the state will be installing water meters in September. Chester Havens Jr. said Pat McDermott will be holding a class regarding water meters. Michael said that as long as he is the president, the monthly board meeting will be held on the second Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. at the clubhouse. The August meeting will be on August 13th. There will be a budget meeting in October, and either in April or May we will have a meeting to discuss election rules. Michael picked 3 of the intendants to count the votes for the 2 openings. For the board, the winners were Jack Walker with 140 votes, Lupe Gonzalez with 108 votes, McCreek Russell with 36 votes, David Happel with 42 votes, Chester Having Sr. with 20 votes, Berlin Holmbeck with 15 votes. Praise the Lord. Thank you to those that helped with the meeting by counting the votes and the proxies. The meeting was adjourned at 1 p.m. Lunch of pork guts, cheese, vegetable tray, pinwheels, chips, and sodas provided by KV were enjoyed by all that cared to partake. Also, side dishes and desserts were provided by the attendees. The winning annual fishing contest took place after lunch and ended at 3 p.m. The winners were Jackson Chavez, caught the biggest fish and won $50. Catherine Grigo, thank you, caught the smallest fish and won $25. Minutes respectfully taken by Tina Swisher, Secretary. Thank heaven those are done. Oh, you girls don't have to stay sitting there. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
And then we'll do ballots at the end.
Oh, okay. No, we can stay here.
Okay.
I don't have nowhere else to.
You heard the reading of the minutes. There are some minor corrections, but did you see anything else? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? Do I have a second? Second. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We can't think of this. We had 2 of our people pass away this year. Val Bertrand lived over there in the Sutherland house. I never knew a lady in my entire life that raised 3 kids and never had a full-time job. And she worked 9 days a week.
Damn.
And she raised her 3 kids by herself.
Wow.
Awesome lady. She worked 1 day a week there, and 1 day a week there, and 2 days a week over there. And she taught those kids to work. She never had a full-time job. She had 10 part-time jobs. And she passed away, and then we had a gentleman across the highway, Dan Ayala, who passed away here about a month ago. So we want to recognize our people. He lived across the highway in 2, out in the middle, just straight east from Tabitha's house. We have the financial report that the accountant brought, processed for us. We did not bring the accountant over here this year because of the virus. We did not bring the lawyer over here this year because of the virus. And we're just bare minimum here. And so that's why they're not here. Of course, my name is Michael Pankewicz. I'm the president. I forgot introductions earlier. Sorry. And our secretary makes me cry. Tina's done such an awesome job this year. Really, really. And Jack Walker is our vice president, and he's working. And we have a board member, John Volkman, our maintenance man, and our board member, Lupe Gonzalez, who make this place look green and does an awesome job. And our other board member is Martin Swisher. And I am not going to go into the financial reports. They're there for your viewing pleasure. I looked at them last night. We spent a lot of money. What these are is these ended December of 2019. So we've got January through August that there's none of that in here. So this is just the full year of 19. And last fall we spent a lot of money, and you can see it. And that's where our reserves, or the reserves, but that's where our savings went. We almost, what we have left, 20 in the savings. We wiped out that savings. And so we got about 134,000 in the money market, and it is still there. And so that is that. But we've wiped out the savings. So, whole business. Oh. Oh, I didn't like those. Is there any old business that anyone would like to bring up? We'll go into new business. We have spent $80,000 on that north well this summer, and we replaced just about everything. We replaced both storage tanks. We replaced all the pipe into the well. We replaced the pump in on one pump and the motor on the other pump. We replaced the backflow, both backflow valves, both pressure relief valves, the entire starter capacitors and their box, and all the breakers, and so it ought to be a brand new place. And it is. And that's why we have the water pressures that we have. We had about 70, 72 gallons per minute of water when we started. We now have 150 gallons a minute. And if anybody doesn't have good water pressure, let me know. And we are not done. We're going, the plumbing guy that we're using, Ken Dalby, is working on January 15th when the Colorado Public Health and Environment guy came over for our sanitation report. I mean, Loopy almost had to give him oxygen over there on the west well because that well is 40 years old and it's all underground. And you have to have multiple people and you have to have a harness. You can't go underground. And we have a buried cement storage tank there. And what if a mouse got in that? And he about freaking fainted over there, didn't he? And so we want to put that well back in operation. It has not been working in, 10 or 12 years. And so it all has to be tore out. So we're going to do a complete excavation over there, and everything will be brought above ground. It basically will mirror the north well. The well will be over there. The well will be outside of the building, where over here it's inside the building, and it's already plumbed underground into this cement thing that's underground, and that cement will become the foundations for the building to go on top, and it'll come through into the room, up the ground level room, and there'll be 2 blue storage tanks in them, just like that one over there. And there will be the chlorination system will be over there for that one, and so it will be a mirror to the north well. And we should be able to run. Before, we had to have both those pumps over there going at the same time, and we didn't have any water. Now we have those 2 pumps over there, and we got them both hammered right now because we're summer, and everybody's watered their yards. But come fall, winter, we can shut one pump off, and we can run on one pump. Or we can go turn that well on and run on that one pump. Or we can go over there and turn the other one pump on. And it will provide us with enough water. And so we have 3 options instead of just one. And so that's been our goal, is to give us, if the lightning strikes that north well house right now, we're dry. Because both pumps are in there. We have no backup anywhere else. And that's the whole plan, was to put that west well back into operation so that we can have that extra unit over there. And it will have its own chlorination system, so it can be ran by itself.
Mr. Pozakewicz.
Please don't call me that. God, I look around for my dad.
I'm sorry. I was
Go ahead,
trying
you're
not
fine,
to
you're
call
fine.
you Mike, but Michael. I was wondering, on our well system, are we going to be able to put in a solar backup in case of power failure? We had one of those this year.
We, not this year.
Well, I know not this year. We're
What I want to do,
strapped.
and I wanted solar over there, because when we're doing that west well, we're going to do it. Oh, and in the west well, what will be different is there will be a pipe coming out, And
A
the fire
standpipe.
trucks will be able to pull underneath it and dump into them. And that will be over there.
A standpipe.
Because that pump is so much bigger, the price of solar isn't going to work over there. But what we will do after we get, now that we got that fixed, after we get that fixed, then I want to go back over there and solar that north well, one of the pumps, or one at a time. I don't know that we can afford solar for both of those pumps, but if the power goes out like it did when the power company was doing that line down there, and we could just go turn the solar on for one pump, at least we have water. And so that is my plan there, and hope there to go solar. And I have a feeling there will be grants for solar.
There is.
And so we will be looking into that, but I have not even started that. But that's in the back of my bald head to do that, because that would give us a backup for in case of the power go out. And we could save money there in the winter months. If we're down to one pump and it's over there, and we can run it off of solar and save money, because our electric bill is $1,800 a month. I have no idea. $1,800 a month to pump water to these houses. If we can save January, February, March, April, that would be nice.
On that west well, are you going to take that automated pump out or leave it there?
It will be, I don't know what, Dalby has drawn up the plans, and he's been throwing different things at me until my head spins, and so I'm sorry. And so I don't know what he's doing. He's doing it. Ken Dalby is designing that west well, and everything that he designs, he sends to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment's engineer, and they're throwing ideas back and forth, because I want to do this, this, and this, and he sends it to him, and then of course the health department has to critique it just a tad, because they're engineers and they know better than a plumber, and so then he sends it back, and then they go a little further and a little further, and I'm not sure what we're doing there.
Okay.
I haven't gotten that far. It hasn't come that far. Ken's designing it, and he's working with the health department to get it so that they approve it, because they have to approve it. And then there is a huge paper shuffle. When the former, well, it was the board, when they shut the well off over there, they shut it off correctly. You must throw paperwork at the government. That's being very rude. But you must do paper shuffle to the health department and water districts that you're shutting this well off. And they did do that. I've talked to Pat about that, and he says all the paperwork is perfect. And so all we have to do is fire paperwork, whatever that is. Like I said, I haven't got into that yet, because we don't even have designs yet. And we just file paperwork and say we're turning this well back on, and this is the paperwork that we file, and it should be cut and dried because it was turned off correctly.
Michael, the next question is what we're going to do with the east well. That's
Next.
because are we going to set that up so we can use that for fire suppression too? So we
after we get the west well fixed, and if I don't get hung by my board members and she who stole my credit card, I don't know who that was. Then we're gonna for that one. Then we're gonna do solar on that one. Then we're going over there.
well,
And I want that one to be just like the other two. There'll be a building. There'll be a chlorination system. There'll be a fire truck dump. And then, and I don't know whether the pump will be small enough in that one to do solar or not. But it will be into the central water system. And then you'll be in the building. I won't be, you'll be and you flip a valve and it goes to the lake. And you flip a valve and it goes into the central water system.
well, what I'm saying is what we're going to do for right now for handling fires in that area.
I'm
Yeah.
praying that will be done before Halloween of this year.
But we've lost a lot of homes, Mike, around here because we don't have the water to handle the trucks. They got to transport.
But that's the way the fire district works, and that's the way the fire district is going to continue to work. If we had a hydrant in front of every house, they wouldn't use them.
Because our system's not big enough to
Our
support it.
system's big enough now.
Yes, but at the current time that we were
Yeah,
putting in,
we got
it
a
cavitated the
hydrant right
system.
there. I put that in when I was fire chief of Villa Grove Bonanza, and it's never worked because we don't have water enough. We got water enough now, and when we put that dump on that west well, there'll be plenty of water there. But I am not interested in hydrants. Number one, they're like, I don't even know how much they are now. They were $3,000-4,000 years ago. Who knows what they are now? But the fire district is not interested in that. The only town in the entire district that has hydrants in it is the town of Saguache. And
They're the only ones that get fires put out too.
I think we're doing pretty good. I'm vice president of the fire district, and I think we're doing a pretty damn good job. We just spent $178,000 for a new tanker truck and for Saguache, and I think we're doing really good. We've got 5 buildings.
Every year that doesn't get put out.
It's a long drive.
Well, you gotta realize that most of the fires have been older, single wide, which burn up in 7 minutes. No way in heck is anybody gonna get here to put that out, you know. And for older mobile home, the one that I don't know whatever happened to the one that passed.
Look at that one. They saved that one. Half of it.
Well, and it's a new, but it's newer. It's not
Most older single wide mobile homes will be gone
right,
in
7
3 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
Houses could be gone.
Well, that one over there by Davis's that burned, I think May's talking about.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't the fire department really to save them. It was the residents around there that went to the rescue that did what they did. The fire department got there later. If the fire was in
you
the
still gotta
city.
realize that had sheetrock, it had metal
Yes,
roof, the whole 9 yards, which isn't gonna burn like what I live in a 1978 mobile home is gonna go poof.
I know they very, very well. But what I'm saying is,
And the hydrant isn't gonna make diddly.
well, it would have on that situation because I went to turn on the hydrant and the water hadn't been turned on like it was supposed to have been the day prior. The homeowner just bought it and he said Davis was supposed to turn the water on. I run around there, hooked the hose up, opened it up, and it was dry.
Because at that time it was only the porch that was on fire, and it was
Right.
easily controllable
And
at
it was
that
hit
point.
with lightning.
How many
That's what I
people
figured.
here are on the fire department?
There you go.
How many people here have applied and never been asked to come back?
The fire
That's another
district,
good
I'm vice president of the fire district that is over this area here. We realize the need for a firehouse in the Joyful Journey, Ewing Ranch, Mineral Hot Springs, KV, and Road AA area. We're looking at it. We say we need a new building in there. We don't have any firemen there. Why should we spend $275,000 for a building and equipment for nobody? So that our people from Villa Grove and Boffa can drive over there and get in a truck?
Why should we drive clear to Villa Grove to fight a fire right here when
That's part of
we have to
volunteerism.
drive 25 miles there? I did my volunteer time with Northwest Fire. So did my father.
Fundraising, darling. If
No.
you want to get it done, get busy and fundraise.
That's part of volunteering. That's
and
the way
that's
it
part of
goes.
being a homeowners
You know,
association.
No, it's only
helping
here.
each other.
It's only here. It's not in the state of Colorado. It's only in Swatch County.
That's the way that goes. All right, let's go on.
I ain't gonna get into it.
Well, I mean, if
At this time now, we have, except for that,
it's the truth.
Who are
we
you?
have no leaks.
Lady in the purple hat. Who are you?
We have purple hat, that's zebra.
Zebra.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 weeks
She's a homeowner here.
and we do have that now, and that's it. This year, come on guys. Last fall, we bought 25 street signs for filing 1 and filing 2. This spring, we bought 25 more street signs for filing 3. I had hoped to finish our street signs, and I don't have the money this year. So we're going to have to wait till next year for that.
I have a question about that. So I live in 503 all the way at the end of Ford Circle, and I noticed when we're driving early in the morning or to work, and we're coming down Ford, the people going back and forth aren't stopping because there's no stop signs. Is that going to get taken care of?
You could scare them.
Eventually.
Oh, I do. Trust me, ask my neighbors.
Eventually, we'll do street stop signs. That's kind of
speed limit signs.
next. What do speed limit signs do for you?
They give law enforcement the ability to enforce it.
What law enforcement?
Yeah.
That's what it is by statute. That's
Do
how.
you see the 3 officers standing over there? Please ask them what they have to say about it.
Well, I was just asking.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, I am hoping after we get done with the speed limit signs, the street signs, to start working on stop signs.
What if we hand make them? As long as they're red.
No, they got to be
She
reflective.
looked at me when she said you have extra red stuff.
I know. This is a joke.
But
I don't know if I'd
But
stop.
Michelle, no, I agree. I want, but it just takes time and it takes money, and you have to understand.
I'll be coming this way, they'll be coming this way, and we're playing chicken.
But you have to understand that, and I don't care to go on the record about it. I work for Saguache County, and I'm going to tell you, as the president of this board, don't expect any help from Saguache County.
Okay.
Saguache County does not help us with our roads. Saguache County Sheriff's Office does not help us with our law enforcement. One of my friends had his truck stolen out of his yard, 7:15 in the morning. I was going to work, and I went over there, and he has 2 houses. I said, there goes your green truck down the road. And I said, I went over to his house. I said, you're here. Your truck just got stolen, but I got to go to work. He called the sheriff's office. That was March, April. They still haven't come out here yet.
They told me that
For a
the things that are
stolen
getting
pickup.
broken into.
We found it 2 or 3 days later, and we brought it home, and its transmission's out of it, and the ignition switch is out of it, and I don't know what else. The people on the end of Fort Circle, the little green hunting lodge down there, it's been down there for 15 years, got broke into. I called Robert Lottie called me and said,
There it goes.
the doors are swinging on this house. I went down there in my red sweats and sit on the road in my car and called the sheriff's office. They wouldn't come and do anything about it.
How about we form a neighborhood watch or something, or
We
you
want
guys
to.
hire a security guard, or
We want to.
We do
Yes.
security
Yes,
runs
sir.
several times a
I
day.
mean, if the cops won't do something,
The
and we
cops
have
won't
to
do anything.
something. It's black and white, man. It's pretty easy.
They've already stated
And then you
that.
can still do the speed limit
They
signs
can't
and
do
enforce them. You guys enforce
Well,
them.
these
We pay you
county
guys to-
roads that we're buying the street signs for the county roads.
Yep.
We're buying the stop signs for the county roads, and so it just takes time to do this.
You got a speed limit sign right here, on this road here. Nobody uses it.
Mike,
Because nobody enforces it.
Oh, okay, come on.
Right?
things that are
Nobody
being
cares.
stolen are being carried out the back. They carry it out that back road. They take it out
The
there,
dump road.
strip it and everything. That needs to be sealed off. So
It is sealed off by my property, and I watched my circle very
Oh,
well.
there's
No,
another
no,
one.
the
over
dump
there.
road on,
Yeah.
The dump road.
There's
Golden
another
Hill.
one.
Road.
Yeah,
On
no,
Golden
they
yeah.
take
Hill.
vehicles out
that
that back
road, too.
and they strip them out there and then set them to fire.
How
The
about
lotties have shut
help
off
me
the
catch
road
these
on the end of
guys?
the Golden Hill.
Yeah.
right there?
And Baker shut off.
Fort Circle, one at a time.
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
The lotties have shut off the road that goes out of Fort Circle.
Right,
And I spoke to Ronald about the road on the end of Golden Hill,
right.
and he said we can shut that off if we want.
Excellent.
I don't know which one of you were first.
Him.
Gals over there.
Baker shut off the one going up Ewing
And
Estates
Baker
Road
shut that one off there
with the
too.
big heavy
Okay.
gate.
How about we evict the camper village over there on Crosby and CC, who are behind most of these thefts?
They're working on it.
They're working on it. And you know what?
To the point where they told us that
Yeah.
they stole the camera.
Yeah.
Straight up.
He's came over and told me about it. Yeah.
And that is actually one that they actually are working on.
It's Crosby and CC over there.
Yeah.
You got like 10 campers and garbage blowing all over the
All right,
freaking
let's
pavement. Yeah.
move forward from this because I know
Yeah,
we're gonna
I'm
take
looking
forever on
forward
the
to it.
next one.
Oh, there we go.
Um,
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Sick of it.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, new topic because we gotta keep going.
I know. I don't know whatever happens with it, but.
I'm playing on somebody.
Loopy's
I
got
was
his
playing on
puppy.
Loopy, and Tina slaps me. We were successful in our foreclosure on K7. It's right across the highway. You're in 3. We've got $12,000 invested in it. But we own it, and they're out of there. And we are looking to flip it. We're gonna, but we have a buyer for it. But I am not selling it to them because they wanted it for the $12,000, and I was ready to just break even and get rid of it. But I want it cleaned up first because it's horrible. And so we are working on. I put an ad in the paper the other day, and we've got a couple of bids on that, and we're going to get it cleaned up first, and then we're going to sell it.
If you don't have a buyer, let me know. I have a buyer. Yeah, for 12,000. That's fine. All cash.
I like cash too. And then we're also foreclosing on, because of the virus, we started 3 more foreclosures, but because of the virus, they got stopped in the middle, and so now they've started up again, and so we're moving on those. That's J1, A89, and QQ14. And so we're moving on those. And as soon as we get about a month or so out of those, we're going to start 2 or 3 more. You don't pay your dues, you're going to get foreclosed on. I don't want the land at all. We just need the money to run the subdivision off of. And so bring us the money and you can keep your land. And the lots that we're selling that are KB lots, there's 2 lists over there. And those are being sold through First Colorado Realty in Salida. And they are doing it for us for free.
That's awesome.
So if anybody knows Jeff Post in Salida, First Colorado Realty, thank him from all of us. He's doing all of our paper shuffle for free. And so, very awesome.
That is good.
This year, I have been told by more people that we need to raise our assessments. We need to raise our tap fees. We do not have enough money coming in. We will not be raising our assessments, and we will not be raising our tap fees for 2021. But I tell you this, one of these days, it's going to have to be raised, and it may double it. Just because we have not raised it all these years. But there will come a time that we have to. The accountant flat out told me last night when I picked that up, you've got to raise your assessment to like from 300 to 450. You just have got to. The figures are there. You've got to do this.
You figure what you're paying for water.
I am not doing that to my people. I don't care. But please realize that one of these days I may come and say, it's doubled. But right now, we are not doing this. I found out that the Boca Grande tap fee is $7,500. Ours is $3,500.
Awesome.
A lot. We have about 510 lots. We have exactly 510 lots. Tina has threatened to break legs, and George has broke them. Oh, George is Tina's husband. Awesome. Whenever I need something, I email Tina. Do you think George could do this? And Tina goes, George is doing this. Yep. Tina has collected 368 lots. Last year we had $40,000 in unpaid assessments. This year we have 142 lots. Just keep going. She's done awesome. She's really done awesome for us.
So do we have a count of how many lots total we have assessments coming in on? Like
510 lots.
Is how many we have total sold lots, so we know what our yearly budget should be for assessments and water on those 500 something.
Well, on the 368 that are paying.
If you have any Hispanics that have not paid their association, let me know, and I'll go talk to them. A lot of them get the letters, and they bring them to me and tell me, what does it say? And they give me the money, and I come and pay it to you. But if you have any that hasn't, let me know.
There we go.
Look at everybody.
Idiots, I'll go talk to them. I need some exercise.
What about Gladys?
Oh, yeah. Well, we could run right over there.
How are you, sir? Good to see you. For the stuff of people and for I-9 and I. Okay, we gotta get those played.
They just steal stuff. And you don't know. I don't trust them. Ali. Oh. No,
All right, we're going to address something very quickly. There's been a lot of noise on Facebook about loose animals, loose dogs. Every year, if you go back through the annual meeting minutes for the last 12, 15 years, I've lived here 25 years, maybe the last 25 years. Every year, loose dogs, loose dogs. The KB covenants say, and they're right there, you must maintain your dog to your lot. However, that dog owner has the right to do whatever they want to do. If they decide they don't want to obey the law, that's their right. The covenants say there are no barn animals allowed in the KV. So whoever has barn animals in the KV, you're breaking the law. Just like the guy with the loose dogs.
The thing is,
You're
Mike,
breaking the law.
we have nothing we can do to these people that are breaking the law, breaking our covenants.
That was my next sentence.
We don't have any.
The covenants
I
have
could
not
turn
been
my place into a
enforced.
pig farm, and there's nothing the KB can do about it.
The covenants have not been enforced in 40 years. There you go.
What did he say?
He's going to start a pig farm here now.
He lives next to me.
So, you know, I'm sorry, but I said 10 years ago when I was on this board, and I'll say it now, there's going to come a point in time when the barn animals have got to go. That's just the way it goes. Because you're going to get, eventually, houses are going to get too close, and somebody's going to open up their window and go, I'm not smelling a corral in my house. And they're going to fight it and do it. I probably won't be alive then, but it's going to happen. I've been saying that for 10, 12 years. It's going to happen. I got other things to deal with besides worrying about somebody's goat and sheep and chickens and rabbits. So I am not, go ahead.
We're not allowed to have chickens?
It clearly states dogs and cats only. However, in 2023, those are due to be changed. And I really want everybody to think about this. I got kicked off the board 10 years ago for trying to change them, so I'm ready to change them now. No. I really think in 2023, we need to change these covenants. They are 40 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we got to make this like, whatever, Breckenridge.
Oh, God, no. I'll move.
But we need to update them a little bit because You know, we're not enforcing anything in there.
Just that there's no way to. There's no fines or fees or anything.
Well, they have to fit in with the county orders because we're not a municipality. All we are is a trustee of public funds.
It's the same thing of enforcement. If the county doesn't have code enforcement,
And they don't have
something to
animal
fall back
control.
on.
They don't have animal control.
Right, but we don't have anything to fall back on in
Right.
that case.
They're the ones that got the teeth. We have.
Well, and our covenants do not say if you have 5 chickens, I'm going to fine you. Blah 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 blah. It doesn't say that. It does. It just says you can't have that. It doesn't say that. But hang on just a second, Michelle. But and I'll get to you. I promise you. But Swatch County land use. Do I can't stand.
Yes.
Don't even get me started there. I'm trying very hard to go on. Has been shoving land use codes down my throat for 25 years. And somebody over there was talking about, I call it Meth Row, down yonder.
Camper Village.
Camper Village down across the way there. We had an awesome, Swatch County had an awesome code enforcer boy, Alejandra.
I'm sorry.
And I thought that
It was my fault.
we were really going to do something great here. And Alejandra, citation, Beth Row, they took it to court. The judge said, land use codes say this and this and this, and you are breaking that land use code. You are guilty.
Go home.
We had it. We had it all perfect. It was awesome. Except Swatch County's atrociously lovely attorney forgot to put a fee structure in there. If you break the law, this is what happens to you. Nothing happens to you. So the judge said, hasta luego.
So it's incompetence then on their part.
So now, the $4,000 a month Swatch County lawyer had to rewrite all of the land use codes.
That's true. It's incompetence.
Yeah. At
Call it what it
$4,000
is.
a month for 25 years of this shit. And now they have to rewrite the Swatch County land use codes. So of course, guess where they started?
Here.
The Baca.
Oh, good.
So it may be another year before we get land use codes for the county with teeth in them. And so as Jason or Steve, I can't remember which one said, yeah, until Swatch County land use codes have something in them, and they are our law enforcement,
We need to have it in our own.
they cannot enforce our rules.
No,
Not
we
we
have
can.
a fine schedule in ours.
We
when
can.
Update 23.
And
We
how are
talked
you
to
going to
our
collect that?
lawyer about that.
Who's going to be the one that enforces that?
George?
The court.
George?
Well, then in that case,
I got George's back.
well, in that case, why don't we just become a municipality so we can enforce it?
Because I don't want
I
to.
was talking to the lawyer
You
about
assign a
that.
fine to it, and you fine them out of compliance of our covenants, and they've been fined this. They either pay it, or
Give
the
them a
county
limit.
places a lien on their property.
If it's worded correctly, Jason is correct. He was a
Yes.
board member. He knows this stuff.
Yes.
He is correct. If we have a fine system in our current
Right, when we
rules
update.
and regulations,
When you change them.
and it says this, and old Merle Drake was the board member, the president here that I took over the first time, and he said the old golden rule. He who holds the gold makes the rules.
Amen.
We hold the gold. We can, well, she, not we.
Yeah, she's such a
She
great
can
nurse.
go in there. She does all kinds of magical things. And she can put,
Yeah.
well, put
And a
a,
time limit.
what do they call it? Put an entry in there on
An
on
assessment.
Martin's lot because Martin did something and he now is fined $100 and it's on his lot assessments. And if he pays his assessments and doesn't pay that $100, that's a lien on his property.
And he hasn't paid his assessments because it's one bill. We've already made that.
But if he
determination.
pays just
Yeah.
the $300 instead of $400,
You can't divvy it up.
it's still it's a partial payment on his assessment,
Yeah.
and a lien is filed.
Yes.
You don't get a vote, a lien goes on your property.
Yep.
You can't
And
sell
so
it.
yes, but
I
it
have-
takes that time. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were done with. Go ahead.
No,
Quick,
I
I'm
was going to
sorry.
ask one thing we should do is when you were president the first time, you put in no advertised businesses within the KV. You can drive around, and we need to get rid of that for growth purposes.
Right, they have a lot of small
I didn't put that in.
municipalities.
Well, it's in here, no advertised businesses within the
It's in the
KV.
covenants. Yeah.
Right.
But we
But
need to change that.
I was only on the board 10 years ago, not 1972.
Well, it needs to be changed.
Why?
Make a note.
Because if
Small
we
business.
change it, that way you bring in other ways of growing. As far as if there's other amenities like gas station or a store or something like that, people will come in because why do I have to drive clear to Saguache to gas up when I forgot to come home and gas up the night before and I got to go to work in the morning, and then they're not out stealing gas from somebody's vehicle. It eliminates the problem.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I absolutely 100% disagree with the commercial business. This is a resident. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forget.
Well, if it's a residential area, why do we have all these large grows?
Subdivision, and I don't believe in commercial growth. Okay, wait. I am so sorry, Michelle.
No, that's okay.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead, please.
So,
I'm so sorry.
it's okay with what he just said. I'm wondering, does working from home apply to that?
No.
No, that's if I want to put a taco stand up on my lot.
Okay.
Or I
What
want
about
to build
convenience
cabins
store.
here
What about
instead of getting them
breeding
for
Or
dogs?
a
campground.
Nothing they
breeding
can do is
dogs,
you do
breeding
it. Whatever you want.
animals?
I've heard that before. I got really mad.
I'm sorry, Michelle. A commercial business is what he's wanting is a commercial business. So
Like a gas station.
gas
construction,
station, craft shop, or a gift store,
Okay.
We're not
restaurant,
So back to my original question.
yeah,
You don't want
home-based things. Somebody that works from home. It's a home-based office.
It's just like a grow.
So I'm gonna backtrack to my original question. You guys had a long conversation about everything.
I'm so sorry.
I could ask 10 questions, but I'm not gonna do that to everybody. I'm just gonna ask one. So this ordinance of camper trailers and all this other stuff, when I came here, KV advertised, come live off the grid. So we came to live off the grid. And then a year later, they changed all the rules. Now you can't even have a camper on your property. Even mind you, I'm building my own house. My husband is. And that's the goal. So even Chester lived in a camper and now he has a house. Why can't we give people that opportunity to come out here and do the same thing everybody else has done? So that they can prosper and grow. I mean, we've grown a lot since we've been here, and I don't understand. Can we, community, be a part of these decisions to make it to where people can come out here and provide for their family and grow their gardens or whatever?
That was a Swatch County land use rule about the campers. It wasn't a KV rule.
Can we be part of that decision through the county?
Then you go to the county, and I don't know what they do.
It was a septic thing. They didn't like the
so many
people.
lagoons out
Yeah,
here.
there's so many shit lagoons. So it was, yeah, you have to have septic to have a camper now, and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Yeah, when we got here, yeah.
According to Wendy, when they came and did it, we were over there and all. She said as long as they were meeting the regular passing their permits, the county would actually give them a variance to keep building.
Yes, that's what happened with us.
But if they do not, then the code enforcement's coming in. You're going to get a hefty fine and given so many days to be off the property, and they'll report it.
Yes, we pay all our stuff. We pay everything. We got our building permits and whatnot. So I'm just curious, does that apply to newcomers? Can they come with the camper, get their building permits, and start building their
Yeah,
house
they
for
have
9
one is
months?
6 months.
No, 6 months now.
They had 6 months, and then they got to be.
It's 6 months. Once you get your building permit, I believe Swatch County code is 6 months. But then go back to Swatch County and see what they say after that.
It's 60 days, not 6 months.
Yeah.
But if
Oh,
you
it's
go
60
back
days.
and tell them, I haven't
One time
finished,
use,
they
60
spend.
days. You
Yeah,
can't build a
they don't have
house
a
in
problem
60
with that, as
days.
long as you pay your I'm asking for newcomers coming in. I know all this.
That would be a land use thing. That is not my thing.
Okay, thank you.
Pretty soon we're going to be completely under Saguache County.
Well, the county.
That takes care of that. All right. I think we've done just about everything. Next year we are planning, as I said, to do the West Well. I'm still wanting to do the clubhouse. It's $800 a month to heat that clubhouse. And those huge windows have got to be changed out. And I'm hoping to get a weatherization grant to make those windows. And then the crooked windows, we can have windows made, that exact special made isn't expensive, and put, like, what do they call it, a storm window. And or maybe they can just build the whole window. I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But we've got to do something to improve the windows in that clubhouse because the heat is unreal. And we are using it enough that I hate to see us have to shut it off.
Well, a fast way and a cheap way to go to that solution is get a hold of the Amish down at A&M. They're the ones, they build windows, they give them a lifetime guarantee. That's what I put in my house. And I actually, a handle came out of the handyman jack and hit one of them. And I thought, oh shit. But it didn't, it bounced right off.
Yeah.
And they've got some kind of a temper in them that does high speed velocity.
Well, that would be good because we have cameras outside of the clubhouse and we have had pictures numerous times of people standing there with a rock intentionally trying to break the window.
Well,
just to break the window.
They come up and do estimates, so.
Are we gonna do anything with the shower house in case we want to have some family come visit or something?
I shut the water off to that money pit and it is a storage shed. Because it was $8,000 a year and 3 people went took a shower in it and they tore it up.
Terrible. Okay.
But they put $8,000 in the remodeling of that. Yeah. And we have that equipment still. And we are going to move one of the shower stalls into this clubhouse.
All right.
Yeah.
What all is covered?
Come on, guys.
What all is covered under the other part and the maintenance other for the $44,000 in the finances? Do we have anything?
I have no idea. We're gonna do our budget meeting in October, and we're gonna it's every year we do this. That is probably water line repair work.
There's already a water bill.
Yeah, I see water at $41,000 and then $44,000.
I have no idea. The accountant did that, and I have no idea. And I'm sorry, these papers cost us $8,000.
And he's not here to explain.
And it would be another $2,500 if he came over here to explain it.
We can get somebody cheaper than that.
All in due time.
He was going to set up a website to put all that stuff up on.
And so, but we are going to go through this for our October budget meeting because I do not like all of that. And so we're going to change some things in here on that. But we're going to do that.
Expensive, you know,
yeah, it's the highest one on there.
But I'm, Zach?
Yeah.
Zach.
Good job.
I'm so happy.
You're doing good.
We spent a lot of money this year.
Yeah.
And so it's by the water system. We spent a lot of money on this water system this year. And so
that's what I figured, but seeing $41,000 for the water and then $44,000 that's just other is kind of.
Where's parts and because we spent money on parts like you wouldn't believe. Every time I want to go town,
you think it'd be listed.
Here's a list of parts you have to go buy while you're in town. And Loopy would go too, and I'd say, "Why don't you go get this?" I went yesterday. Tina and George picked up parts for us. We went through a lot of plumbing parts here, which will go right from that, right into this, and right into making people pissed.
We've got a bunch of plumbing parts in there. I can go show you.
Yeah, we do have a nice supply now too. Look around this Greenbelt area. We replaced all 10 hydrants in this Greenbelt area because every one of them was broke. By people stealing water. And that's the next thing we're going to go into.
They locked it off for a while.
November 1, we are shutting all hydrants off in the Greenbelt area. And the people that are coming up here and stealing water, too bad. I'm so sorry, but you are stealing water.
Are we stealing water?
Because
I mean, the pumps are there, they're tapping. I mean, we don't pay.
you haven't paid to tap into the pumps.
Isn't that what HOA?
I don't know if you're, I'm not saying that you're one of them.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they pay a vacant lot assessment. They are not paying the water tap fee.
Or the annual water bill.
Now, what's
The
the
annual water-
difference between a vacant and water?
Well,
Yeah, so somebody buys a lot for $3,500,
Yeah.
and it doesn't come with a
No,
water
it's
tank, that's
300.
another $3,500.
Yeah.
So they'll live in a camper.
How much is
Build
the
it,
vacant lot
take it back to the
assessment? $178?
117.
What?
Russell Lakes is on 280.
So a vacant lot is,
Yeah.
I thought I was right, but I don't want to. Is a vacant lot owner is $178 a year.
Okay.
If you pay $3,500 and tap into the water system, it's $300 a year.
Okay.
And so every year, not only your $3,500 helps to maintain the $80,000 I just spent,
Right.
but then the $300 a year is helped as well. And that's why. And there's one of the water thieves that's got kids. And I don't know what I'm going to do when they come around because I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it or not. But, you know, they need to pay their tap. They
And
need
if
to
they
have
can't,
water
you
on
can
their
haul
lot.
water for $10. I mean, maybe recommend to them. There are many places around here to haul water in.
If one of the water thieves goes to another house and steals water from them, that house will be charged a second assessment. In other words, pay your water tap. We can do payments of any amount at any given time until you get your $3,500 water tap fee paid. We will not tap until she says the $3,500 is paid. Because next spring we get to foreclose on the 4 people that they financed water taps for last year, the year before, that have not paid. They paid half of it, and we've never seen them since. And so, I'm sorry, but that's the hard truth, Michelle.
So I thought you had to pay $3,500. You don't get to pay payments anymore because that's what I had.
We will accept payments of any type, of any amount on your assessments or your water tap, and the full amount of that payment goes onto your account. We do not charge service charges and take our people's money from them.
That was
But-
my position last year when somebody asked you to make payments.
Yes, it was.
You told them no.
But you have to own.
You did, Mike.
You can make payments at any time,
Yeah.
but you don't get paid tapped until you're paid off.
Well, yeah, and mine's done and everything, but when I first got here, I was told I could pay the 17 something and then make payments. So when I went in to do that with the 17 something, it took me a year to save up. They said I had to have the whole 3,500. So then I came in with the whole 3,500 a month later, and paid it, and I have my water, so I'm just confused. When did we?
Well,
change
when
this?
I came back in, I changed a couple things.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Michelle, what
Well,
he's,
thank you for that. I'm glad other
Michelle?
people have the opportunity to do
what
that.
he's saying is you can come in and make a payment of any amount, and they'll bank that until you get to 3,500.
Oh,
Then they'll give you your water tap.
okay,
Yeah.
so I was.
And the same way with your assessments. If you've got problems making your assessments every year, bring $20 a month and give it to Tina. $2,500 a month on a $300 deal. What'd you say?
$25 a month. Okay, I said 2,500.
Oh, that works too. $25 a month every month, and you'll make your $300 a year. And we put all the money on your account. I have a couple of things that I would like opinions on. Well, the first one is that what we just spoke of. What do you guys think about these people that are stealing water? They're stealing it from you.
Shoot 'em. I think they
Shoot
need
'em.
to go
Don't
to
he
Lubbock
get me started.
and get water from the park like we do, because you're more than welcome to get water from the park in Lubbock.
There's a lot of ignorance, though. There's a lot of people that don't know about these opportunities.
Yeah, right.
I worked at Dollar General as assistant manager, and I don't know how many people came through that door struggling. Rather than us be angry at them, they're asking
Yeah.
for water.
I think
Right.
It's not like they're
There's bigger
stealing
issues to worry
gasoline.
about
They're
than
not
water.
stealing people's
I mean,
food.
we're on
They're
the biggest
wanting
aquifer.
water.
Right, but it's also people filling up hundreds of.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
gotta
the issue.
understand.
I think
Yeah.
if we could
Okay,
come up
then
with
hit
some
the
kind of a
people that are
fee for
going
that,
to
even.
Chinese.
These people, some people can't pay the
Right. Not the guy with
3,500.
5-gallon
We
bucket.
respect
Right.
that. We
Yeah,
understand
the
that.
guy with the
If we could come up with
$100
another
bucket.
method to
Yeah.
help them out, give them $25 a month.
I've seen
You
people
can
rolling
fill up
with
your tank
trucks
3
with 100-gallon
times.
tanks.
Selling
Something of
water.
that sort to help.
300
It's a
yeah,
lot
dude.
of sell water.
that is what
Okay,
You already answered my question when you said it's against the law to sell water.
George,
Question. You just replaced all the taps here, right?
All the
green belt.
hydrants.
Done.
10 hydrants, 700